Eun-seo, where are you going? Park Do-hyun's voice caught Go Eun-seo, who was slightly loosened by the alcohol. Since you won't give me any alcohol, I'm going to buy some ramen. Go Eun-seo retorted curtly. You're still drunk. Park Do-hyun looked at her with worried eyes. Go Eun-seo nearly tripped over the edge of the carpet, but Park Do-hyun swiftly caught her and turned her around. His touch made Go Eun-seo glare at him with sharp eyes, but soon tears welled up and streamed down her cheeks. Eun-seo. Park Do-hyun called her name in a flustered voice. He was at a loss, fidgeting, while Go Eun-seo sat down and began to cry in earnest. I hate it. Damn it. I really hate it. I hate alcohol too. I hate crying too. Damn it. How dare you make me cry? I hate everything. I really hate it. Go Eun-seo screamed and cried. Park Do-hyun didn't know how to comfort her, so he sat next to her and held her in his arms. Eun-seo ya, I hate men. I hate them the most. Really, I hate them. Go, Eun-seo said in a tearful voice. With Park Do-hyun's soothing, she gradually calmed down, and using his low voice as a lullaby, she slowly fell asleep. Yeah, you can hate that kind of guy 100 times, 1,000 times. If you can't do it, I'll do it for you. How dare you make my friend cry? Park Do-hyun whispered, stroking her hair. Go Eun-seo burst into hiccups and laughter, nestling into his arms. Park Do-hyun smiled gently, picked her up, and headed to the room. Do you hate me too? Park Do-hyun asked mischievously, taking off her tight jeans. Go Eun-seo giggled, wriggling to make it easier for him to undress her. I like you. I'm a man too? You said you hate all men, Park Do-hyun asked playfully, covering her with a blanket. Go Eun-seo held his hand tightly and stroked his cheek with her other hand. I hate everyone, but not you. You're special. Such an honor, Park Do-hyun replied in an exaggerated tone. He made sure Go Eun-seo was completely asleep and then went out to the living room and started cleaning up the mess. Late at night, Park Do-hyun quietly looked down at Go Eun-seo sleeping next to him. He still couldn't believe it. The Go Eun-seo he knew never cried. The last time she cried was when her father passed away. Since then, she had been thoroughly controlling herself. That she was crying. Park Do-hyun carefully wiped away the tears on her eyelashes. Go Eun-seo snuggled into his arms, and he held her tightly and fell asleep. Awakened by the sweet scent of coffee, Go Eun-seo turned her head towards the scent, then groaned and buried her face in the pillow. Coming to your senses? With a playful voice, Park Do-hyun's hand affectionately ruffled her hair. I'm coming to my senses, but I want to lose them again. Go Eun-seo mumbled from inside the pillow. Park Do-hyun, recognizing her voice, laughed loudly and helped her turn over. But because she still couldn't open her eyes due to the bright light, he moved the position between her and the window to create shade so she could open her eyes. Go Eun-seo, opening her eyes in the shade he made, unknowingly kissed his cheek nearby and smiled brightly. Good morning, and thank you. Here, coffee. Park Do-hyun smiled gently and got up. He handed her the mug he had placed on the table as she sat up. Aren't you going to get into the habit of this? Go Eun-seo, having showered and wearing his shirt, appeared in the kitchen where meal preparations were in full swing, pouring herself a new cup of coffee. A habit. Park Do-hyun frowned, having his toast snatched away by her. Go Eun-seo smiled at him, sat down, and started eating her share of toast as well. You know, is it okay for a grown woman to just sleep at a man's house like that? Especially dressed like that. You don't seem to have any concept of being a woman, you. Park Do-hyun pointed out her attire, scolding her. Go Eun-seo, wearing his shirt with 3 buttons undone, looked down at herself and raised an eyebrow at him. Why are you being so strange all of a sudden? You know, I wouldn't do this with anyone but you. You're not even a man to me. As I always say, to me, a man is, if he's older, then it's Jung-hoon, and Park Do-hyun interrupted her, handing her some of his toast. If he's the same age, he's a friend, and if he's younger, he's a younger brother, right? I've heard it so much that I'm sick of it. Eat slowly. I've already done your laundry and hung it up at your house. I hung up a few pieces here too, so don't forget to take them when you go later. Park Do-hyun, who was cleaning up what she had eaten, turned around, feeling strange about her unusually quiet demeanor, and almost bumped into the sink because she was hugging him. What? What is it? Thank you, Do-hyun. You're really my friend. Where else would I find a friend like you? Go Eun-seo said sincerely, hugging him. Park Do-hyun, reflexively hugging her waist, felt the soft sensation of her chest against his firm chest and felt the fine hairs on the back of his neck stand up, and he pushed her away in confusion. If you're thankful, make me some side dishes. We're out of kimchi. He spoke brusquely to her, who was looking at him with a puzzled expression, and turned his back to her to hide the emotions that had appeared on his face. Sure, I will. Let's go to the market together later. I'll buy some cabbage and young radish and make you some kimchi. Only after he felt her go outside did he relax. Oh my, isn't that isn't that Park Do-hyun over there? At the design team's get-together after a long time, she had hoped they would stop after the second round, but Go Eun-seo ended up coming to the nightclub with them. No way. With a hopeful expression, the secretary, Kimbo Ram, looked in the direction she was pointing, and there he was, dancing very passionately with a sexy woman she didn't know where he had met. Whoever she is, she's amazing. A co-worker her age whistled, and the female colleagues couldn't close their mouths, as if in shock. I didn't know Park Do-hyun was such a good dancer. Go Eun-seo, looking at Kim Bo-ram with a sad expression, gave an awkward smile. You don't know how great that guy's dancing skills are. When he was in school, he swept all the dance competitions, Kim Bo-ram said in admiration. Really? Well, if she's like that now, she must have been something else when she was younger. Wait a minute. Go Eun-seo is a pretty good dancer, too. I think she's much better than Park Do-hyun's current partner, someone whispered. Go Eun-seo waved her hand dismissively. Don't ask me to go out there. I don't want to ruin the atmosphere. Kim Bo-ram doesn't know how relentlessly he pesters me when I interfere with his flirting. He bombards me with calls all night long. As soon as she finished speaking, Go Eun-seo realized she had inadvertently revealed her inner thoughts when she saw Kim Bo-ram's surprised expression. Oh, don't get me wrong. I meant he bothers me with phone calls all night, she hastily clarified. Kim Bo-ram asked with a serious face. Honestly, are you two actually dating? Go Eun-seo, who had been blinking with wide eyes, burst into laughter. Honestly, absolutely not. Park Do-hyun and I are just childhood friends. Nothing more, nothing less. But when I see you two together, honestly, it's enough to make even couples jealous. You do things so naturally that others can't even imagine, Kim Bo-ram added in admiration. Before any more conversation could continue, they were led to the stage by other colleagues. At first, Go Eun-seo danced with her colleagues, but as people started to leave one by one, she deliberately sought out crowded places. Why are you here? Aren't you going to dance? Kim Bo-ram, who had appeared unnoticed, gently pushed her into the open space that Park Do-hyun had created while dancing, and before she could avoid it, a familiar arm wrapped around her waist and smoothly pulled her into the circle. It would be a shame to let such a beautiful person go. With a voice full of laughter, Go Eun-seo smiled lightly as if resigned and turned to face him. You're doing fine without me. Let me go. Then I'll quietly step aside and won't interfere with your work. As she tried to escape from his embrace, Park Do-hyun spun her around gracefully with a playful smile. The interference has already begun. Just dance with me once. Then I'll let you go cleanly. There's no partner who dances as well as you. If you dance with me just once, I won't bother you until you go home, he gently persuaded. Really? Park Do-hyun, who carefully removed the pin from her hair as she looked at him with suspicious eyes, smiled victoriously as she lightly shook her head, letting her hair scatter. I swear on tomorrow's breakfast. Breakfast? She questioned. Yes. Breakfast. If I break my promise and bother you, you don't have to make me breakfast tomorrow, he set the condition. Okay, deal. She accepted his offer. Go Eun-seo, who came outside amidst the envy, admiration, and jealous praise of her colleagues, was waving her hand to catch a taxi. However, Because there were so many people, the taxis just passed by, and there was talk of splitting up and catching taxis separately. Just then, a taxi stopped in front of them. In the moment everyone was rejoicing, the taxi door opened and Park Do-hyun appeared. You haven't left yet? He greeted the others with a light nod and spoke to Go Eun-seo, who had a resigned expression, in a playful voice. There are so many people that catching a taxi is like picking a star from the sky. Park Do-hyun, would you be willing to give us this taxi? Then we'll gladly give you Go Eun-seo. Kim Bo-ram stepped forward on behalf of Go Eun-seo. Park Do-hyun's eyes twinkled playfully as he looked back and forth between the embarrassed Go Eun-seo and the amused Kim Bo-ram. Are you really going to do that? He asked slyly. Kim Bo-ram, who burst into laughter, pulled the stiff Go Eun-seo and placed her right next to him. Of course. Then the deal is already done, so we'll be going first. Kim Bo-ram, who pushed the other colleagues who were looking at them with interest into the car, waved to the angry Go Eun-seo and disappeared with the car. Playboy, she said, glaring at him. He smirked. Trickster, she added. Uh-huh, he responded playfully. You bad guy, she finally snapped. Again? He asked with a smile. They glared at each other, but eventually burst into laughter and walked down the night streets arm in arm. There will be a lot of talk at work tomorrow, but anyway, I really had fun today. Park Do-hyun, who put his arm around her shoulder so she wouldn't be cold, nodded at her words with a fairly serious expression. I stretched my body after a long time, and those people haven't seen our real skills yet, have they? Go Eun-seo, who glared at him for a moment, smiled and they burst into laughter again. But how do I get home now? She asked worriedly. Don't worry, did you think I gave that precious taxi away without any plans? When she looked surprised, he pointed to his car parked far away. Don't worry, I didn't drink a drop of alcohol today. I started dancing as soon as I arrived at the club. There's something I forgot to say earlier. As Park Do-hyun, who was starting the engine, looked at her sitting in the passenger seat, Go Eun-seo gently patted his cheek and smiled. You sly fox, she said with an affectionate voice. Aha, he smiled with satisfaction. Why are you following me in? Park Do-hyun, who followed her into her house without going into his own, strode into the kitchen before she could stop him and smiled. I want to drink coffee, but I'm out of coffee. Go Eun-seo, who looked at him with a dumbfounded expression, eventually burst into laughter and headed to her room. I'll wash up quickly, so please make mine too. Yes, ma'am. I will do as you command, he replied playfully. Not long after she disappeared into the bathroom, the phone rang while he was making coffee, and he picked up the receiver without much thought. Hello, this is Go Eun-seo's residence. Oh my, is that Do-hyun? He smiled softly at the voice of Go Eun-seo's mother, which was always warm and affectionate. Yes, this is Park Do-hyun, who respects and loves you very much, he replied kindly. Ho ho, I heard you went to Europe? You've only gotten better at talking in the meantime? Her mother said with delight. Haha, please look forward to it. This weekend I will definitely make you a prisoner of my love, he joked. I will gladly look forward to it, but where is my daughter? He glanced at the bathroom, where he could still hear the sound of water, and lowered his voice secretly. She's taking a shower because she says she's too hot right now, he whispered.